Hello, I'm Sarah Joy, and this is Sarah's Joyful Journey. I am so excited to be back talking with you again this week. It's been an interesting week for sure. All right, so I'll jump right in and get started with some weight loss progress or some things that have gone on with my weight. So last week I weighed in at 209.9. This week I have had a significant amount of weight gain, weight regain. I'll explain some theories that I think that I have going on in just a moment. But this week I weighed in 214.1. However, yesterday I was 218.5. My InBody app does say that I have put on some muscle, so that is probably one of the factors. Another one of the factors that I think is going on is I've been really stressed with the last term of school and just life going on and things going on. It's been really hot, so I think these have all played a role in it. I had also done an experiment to try and drop one of my blood pressure medications. I did really good without it for a couple of weeks, and then like 3 days ago, I added it back in because I'm noticing my blood pressure go back up. So obviously you still need that medication, which is fine. So I just have 2 blood pressure medications. And then the other thing that hit me this morning is it has been a month since I've been off of my Mounjaro. So that could also be playing a role, potentially. I'm not entirely sure, and I think that even just the blood pressure pill, because the one that I had stopped was the HCTZ, which is a water pill. So that could explain some things. But I've now had 3 doses and I started moving back down. The great thing about it is even though the scale was up like 10 pounds, my clothes still fit the same, everything still fits the same. So it's probably some muscle as well as some extra water weight. It could just be a variety of factors, not getting sleep, stuff like that. So I wasn't too stressed about it. It's just one of those things where I'm taking note of it and I'm going to keep track. If it's a trend that keeps happening, then I know I need to look at some other factors. But for now, I'm working on reducing my stress and I'm working on getting lots of sleep. Excuse me, I'm going to take something to drink because I did work out today and I'm thirsty. All right, so that is my weekly weigh-in. So as I mentioned that I have been off of Mounjaro for a month now. I'm feeling really good without it, which is fantastic. My doctor still doesn't know that I'm not taking it. I see him in a little over a month. If I decide to go to that appointment, I still haven't totally made up my mind. Right now, I'm leaning towards it. I want to get at least the lab work done, so I'll probably go to the appointment. I still really need to fire him, but I also want to have the opportunity, I think, to just tell him, hey, by the way, I have stopped this. I am not taking it at all. I haven't taken it in this X amount of time, which it'll be about 6 weeks at that point. So he'll be able to see the records from my CGM and he'll be able to have my blood work. So hopefully there is not a lot of change. It's potential that there's going to be a little bit of change in my A1C because in the past week, I've noticed my fasting blood sugar has gone up just ever so slightly. I'm usually in the 90s to right around 100, and the past 3 or 4 days, it's been right around 108, 111. Not anything huge, but it's a noticeable increase in it. I'm not saying that it is related to the Mounjaro. It's just something that I know could be related to stopping the Mounjaro. It's been really, really hot here. Like we've had excessive heat warnings in Central Florida for several days now, and I work outside. That could also play a role, and despite me trying to keep hydrated as best as I can and keeping my electrolytes up, I was drinking 10 bottles of water a day at work, and my water bottles are like 24 ounces, so they're not huge, but they're not super small, and I was having 2 to 3 servings of Element as electrolytes. Then I was coming home and I was drinking 2, maybe 3 of these big bottles of water, and it's still possible that I was still pretty dehydrated or slightly dehydrated, just because the humidity is just, it's a lot. So I was just struggling to keep up with my hydration while trying to keep up on top of it. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to stop the HCTZ, is because it is a water pill, and I noticed for myself, I struggled to keep my hydration up despite drinking lots of water. So I'm working extra hard to make sure that I am staying hydrated. I took yesterday off just for a break from the heat, just because I was exhausted, both physically and mentally, and just emotionally exhausted. I was totally drained. So that's kind of been happening. So like I said, we'll keep track of my blood sugar numbers. We'll see how they go. It's not anything huge or significant, and things are staying pretty much where I want them to be. So I am proving to myself and hopefully to my doctor that I did not actually need the Mounjaro, and the Mounjaro is was not the only reason why I was losing weight. I put in a lot of that work, and I'm still putting in a lot of that work. Granted, I haven't really lost a whole lot, but that's okay in the past month. And that's gonna happen anyway. You're gonna have plateaus, you're gonna stabilize and have things. So again, totally not stressing. I'm about the same weight that I was last month. So I've got a net 0 for the past month, but that's okay. That is definitely okay. All right, so looking at my notes. One thing that I am trying this week is I'm trying to have my 2 meals a day, and I'm trying to have them completed before like 2 o'clock. So I'll do breakfast and lunch and skip dinner. I tend to feel a little bit better on that. So we'll see how that goes. I haven't figured out work schedules and how to get 2 meals in at work, because oftentimes my breaks come really close together. I may have breakfast before I go to work. Like I haven't figured it out. I'm just gonna still spend some time thinking about that. It's a potential that I could just make like some hard-boiled eggs and pre-cook some bacon, and I can eat that, or maybe I'll make some bacon egg cups and I can have that, and I can eat 2 or 3 of those on the way to work. So they're just prepped, and then I can have my lunch at work and then be done for the day. I did just finished eating, and I'm absolutely stuffed, and it's like 3:30. So it's a little bit later than I really wanted to. I wanted to be done by 2, but I was finishing exercising and I wanted to shower. So I got a little bit later than I wanted to, but I just had some Italian sausages. I ate 4 of them, and I probably should have stopped at 3 because I am really, really stuffed, but that's okay too, because then I'll just be nice and full for the rest of the day, and I'll be able to carry on with everything else that I need to do. So I did do an experiment yesterday. I think it was totally a fluke, and I'm going to repeat it again tomorrow. We're going to see what happens, or it could just, I don't know. When I went to Keto Orlando, I got a couple of samples of ketones. The ones that I tried yesterday were the Dr. Boz Pucker Up. I actually kind of enjoyed them. They were not as bad as I thought they were going to be. But when I checked my ketones that morning, which I do not do at all regularly, I knew I was going to do this experiment, and I wanted to see how it was going to go. I had some test strips for my Keto Mojo in the cabinet, so I decided to look. But it's not anything that I do. I'm not chasing ketones. But I do want to try the exogenous ketones because I think that they could provide me extra focus and energy, especially on days where I have a lot of schoolwork and working outside. It could be a very needed boost towards the end of my day, which could boost me through my nighttime of studying, which would also allow me to still be able to sleep when I don't want to boost with caffeine. So I have a very specific purpose in mind for how I want to use them, but they're super expensive, so I haven't decided exactly what I want to do. Well, anyway, back to my experiment with Dr. Boz's ketones. So I started at 0.7, which is about pretty normal for me. I'm about 0.4, 0.7. My ketones have never been super high. Probably should have checked before I ate lunch and see how they were then, but that's okay. Anyway, after 5 minutes, because they said you notice an improvement in 5 minutes. So I did notice an improvement. Like within a minute or two, I was feeling, I didn't have brain fog, but I just had extra focus. Like my brain felt clearer and I had some extra energy. I felt fantastic. I hadn't felt that good in a couple weeks just because my sleep and my stress have been off. So I felt a little off from that. But anyway, after 5 minutes, my ketones were up to 3.6. I did check them again after an hour and they were down to like 2.6. So they were starting to come down after an hour, which is what you should expect when you are using exogenous ketones, or at least all the research that I have done has said that. Again, I'm not a medical doctor, a medical professional. I will be a doctor, but I will not be an MD. I will be a psychologist, and those are two different things. However, what I did notice this morning, which was really odd, is I checked my ketones again out of curiosity just to see where they were. And I did stop eating yesterday by 2 o'clock. So when I checked them this morning, it was about 8:30. So I'd been up for a few hours. The first time I checked them, they said 7.2. And I was like, excuse me? My ketones have never been that high, ever. That is like medical grade levels of ketosis from what I'm seeing online. Was not scared of that, was just, it was unheard of. Well, I checked a few minutes later and my ketones were 5.6. So still a pretty high level of ketosis. I ate breakfast and then I made a treat for us. I don't normally eat them, but I made a couple of chaffles. I made snickerdoodle keto chow chaffles. And we put egg and sausage on them. And so I had 2 eggs, 4 waffles, and 2 pieces of sausage. I turned them into sandwiches. And I almost didn't eat lunch, but I was slightly hungry, so I'm like, I'll eat. But I probably could have done without lunch today because that was so filling. But what I did notice is last night I got great sleep. I had no problem falling asleep, which has been a couple weeks since that's been the case. And I felt amazing. I definitely got an energy boost from it. So it's something I want to try again. I have a can of ketones. It's a ketones in a can type beverage that I'm going to try tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to wait till I'm going to eat breakfast early, and then I'm going to wait several hours, and then I will check my ketones 3-ish hours after I eat, and then I'll drink the drink as I'm getting ready to do my exercise, and we'll see what happens, and we'll see if it was a fluke or if I just respond really well to ketones. And then I will probably sometime later this month, possibly this week, it depends on the budget, I might consider ordering some of the Dr. Boz ones just to see if they do work for the purpose that I think that they are working. But I am off school for the next week and a half, so I have some downtime. So I don't necessarily need that afternoon boost of energy and focus to get through the rest of my day. But it was interesting. It was interesting to see. It was interesting to experience them because I've never experienced them before. So we'll go from there. As I just mentioned, I am off school. I completed term 1. I am feeling fantastic about that. I struggled to get that last assignment done yesterday because I was just done. I wanted to be done with class. It was an easy assignment. I just didn't want to do it. I almost didn't do it, but I did because it was a 10-point assignment. So I would have been fine if I had not done it, but I pushed myself and I took it all day because I did lots of other things during the day, and I did get it done. I'll find out my final grade probably Wednesday, Thursday-ish, I would imagine. Before that final assignment, I was sitting at 98, so I did fantastic in my first term. I now have approximately 15 more terms to go until I have my Ph.D. And probably probably somewhere around 12 until I will have earned my master's degree along the way, because I am a bachelor's entry into a PhD program. I don't actually have a master's, so I do have to take a few extra classes, but really it's not many. It's basically, for me, a bachelor's entry is the same as if I had a master's in another a different type of master's. So if I had a master's in like biology, and I wanted a PhD in psychology, I would have to complete the same amount of work as if going in with a bachelor's. So it works for me. That's kind of how I did my associates. I jumped in, started doing my bachelor's degree, and I found out that along the way, if I got certain classes done in a certain amount of time, I could get my associates. So I did. I walked for my associates. COVID happened, so I did not walk for my bachelor's. If I get my master's along the way, I won't walk for that. I'm still trying to decide if I want to walk for my PhD. It would be really, really cool. I just don't know if I want to go to Maryland. It's a big drive, but I've still got several years to think about it, so I don't have to worry about it right now. So that term is done. Next term, term 2, is going to be a big term for me. I have a lot going on. I have a 6-week doctoral writing class that I have to take. So I have no idea what that's going to entail, except more writing, obviously. I'll probably have 1 or 2 papers, I would imagine, for that. It could be 6 smaller writing assignments. My classes won't open up until the 24th, which is my 45th birthday. So I can't go in and see what the expectations are for that until then. I also will have 2 11-week classes. I am taking lifespan, well, it's developmental psychology, basically. They call it something else, but it's psychology across the lifespan. But it's developmental psych, and I'm super excited because I enjoyed developmental psych in my undergrad, and then it has a book. I've already got the books. The book's ready to go. And then I'm taking culture and psychology, or culture of psychology. It's one of those, I think it's culture and psychology. I have no idea what it's going to entail because there is no book. So I'm sure it'll be a lot of just reading lots of journal articles, which is fine. I'm good with that. And then in October, I have a 4-day intensive residency that I have to do. It is virtual, which I'm excited about because I don't have to go. There was a possibility that I was going to have to go to Atlanta in like a week. Because when I went to sign up for the virtual one, it said I didn't qualify. But thankfully, I talked to my academic advisor, and she's like, nope, not a problem. You can go into that virtual one in October. So I've already requested the days off from work because they are going to be long days. So I will have to do the week of the residency. I have to do my 2 11-week classes. And this starts on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday at 9 a.m. Central Time and goes to 6 p.m. Central Time. So it's from 10 to 7. I will be on the computer in classes, attending seminars that I am required to participate in. And the last day does only go till about noon Central Time. So it's a shorter day, but it's still 3 very long days that I still have to do homework those days. If I don't get it done earlier in the week, and I probably won't just because it's 2 11-week classes, and it's enough that there's enough reading and there's enough writing that you do need to take your time and you can get it done in a week, but adding that other stuff is going to be a little bit more of a challenge for me. The good thing is I am off those days, so I can always get up at my normal time and I can spend a couple hours before I do the intensive, and then I can spend an hour or 2 in the evening and go from there. Or on Sunday, depending on how it goes, I have the afternoon. Since that is a shorter session, I would be able to have that. But anyway, I'm really excited to start term 2, and I'm just moving and grooving and going along, and everything's going really well so far. I am super excited, super happy to be studying psychology again. It is definitely a passion of mine. And the next term looks fairly easy as far as I'm not doing stats. Stats I do is not, I'm not a fan of math. I can do it, but math and me don't always get along. because I do math backwards compared to most people, and that has created a lot of stress and trauma. And I have one more term before I start my research classes. I have 4 of them to do. Luckily, it's 1 each term. So I think it'll be manageable because I'll have 1 research stats heavy class and 1 non-stats class. And then I think by the time I start my 2nd or 3rd research class, I have to do another residency, and I also start on my specialization classes for health psychology. So I'm super excited about that. So that's keeping me pumped and motivated to get through those research classes. I'm glad they're towards the beginning of my program. I obviously am going to need them for writing my dissertation. Still have no idea what I'm writing my dissertation about. Still got time to think about that. But it's a lot, and it's exciting, and it's enjoyable. So you hear more about me rambling on about school and that process. All right, and then something else that I have started today, and I have some people from one of a Mighty Networks group that I belong to. We are doing a Finish Strong challenge for the end of the year. Our goal from starting today through the end of the year is to do 5,000 minutes of exercise between now and then. Our goal is to finish the year stronger than we started. It still aligns with my goals of building muscle and increasing my strength and getting all my steps and my movement in. It is inspired by the 10,000 minute program I did that was sponsored by my work. I really enjoyed that. I really liked getting a prize at the end of it. Shooting for that prize that I wanted just gave me the little extra push that I needed at times where I was like, I don't really want to work out. I don't, so it gave me that little boost. So I'm hoping this time, because I have people joining along with me, I get to be their cheerleader, they get to be my cheerleader. I'm sorry if you see a weird cut right there. My phone rang and it stopped my video, so I did have to make a small edit right there. One other thing that I'm going to do as I get to earn that prize, my prize is going to be a new air fryer. The one I have works perfectly good. I just want one that's a little bit more square. I have an Instapot version, so it's both an Instapot and an air fryer, and it's pretty cool. I just don't use the Instapot version of it. I just use that one for the air fryer because I have another Instapot that I like better. So it would work really well to have a more square air fryer for me. So I've picked a really nice one out. I may try to put a picture in, we'll see, I don't know. Anyway, I'm super excited about that. And then the other thing that I'm going to be doing is I am going to be recording a daily video, a short video every day, sharing how many minutes that I have accomplished and how close I am to my goal. So this will be something that you can just randomly see. So if you're interested in doing that, please make sure you like and subscribe to my channel so that you can get notifications or see those pop up. So I will have that daily video. Again, it's like a 60-second video or less of me just sharing my progress. I'm gonna do it right after I work out, tell you what I did, how many minutes I've done, and how many minutes I have remaining. So that's gonna be great for keeping me accountable as well. My goal is going to be 60 minutes a day. I did accomplish that today. I did a 30-minute upper body workout, and then I got on the treadmill and I did a run walk. I ran for a mile, walked a quarter mile, ran for half mile, walked a quarter mile, and called it done because that was 30 minutes. It was my first time running again since I injured my knee. My knee was a little sore and wobbly at first. I'm not noticing anything now, which is great. I don't have any swelling or anything like that. I think it was just getting used to the impact. And so I'll probably run again maybe on Wednesday. I don't like to do it every day. I will walk every day, but I don't want to run every day. But that's my goal again, is like I said, that 60 minutes, I'm going to try to walk between 10,000 and 15,000 steps. I am probably not even close. I'm at about 5,000 steps today. That's my fault. I didn't put my watch on when I got up. I just got up and started doing my thing. So I know I had more steps than that, and I'm not going to get to the 10,000 today, but that's okay. And then my plan is for my strength training, I'm gonna do that Monday through Friday. I'm going to do Mondays are going to be arms, Tuesdays are going to be legs, Wednesday's going to be total body. Then I'm going to flip it and I'm going to go legs, arms, total body. So we'll see how that goes, because I do want to be focusing on strength training 6 days a week right now, just because I lost so much muscle mass due to Mounjaro. I'm sure as I get closer to my goal, I will slow down to probably like 3 days a week. I'm not doing anything super complicated. I have Fitness Plus on my phone that I can use it's the app. You can use it with your fitness app and your Apple Watch, so it'll track, and it's just a pre-recorded workout. They're pretty fun. I have a couple trainers on there that I like. Usually what I do is I pick a video and then I just do, or those few videos, I'll do those videos for a week, maybe 2, and then I'll switch it up, because after that point I'm usually getting pretty bored. But that is my plan for that. I'm just looking forward to having some time off. I think tomorrow we're gonna go to a park. We haven't 100% decided, because it's supposed to be another excessively hot day, and I may choose to stay inside in the AC. But if I do go to the park, I will do a short vlog and bring you along. The other thing that I'm going to do as soon as I'm done here is over here. You can see that I have some yarn on here. This is some green tinsel. It is going to go on my loom right here. After I am done with this is going to be a scarf. It's going to be a birthday present. I am super excited to get it started, because I haven't done any weaving in 11 weeks and I am not used to that. So it's going to be exciting to sit down at my loom and just have some time over the next week and a half to do that. I'm hoping to get this scarf done and another project on the loom at the beginning of next week. That is some towels, and if it's a long warp, I'm hoping that I can a couple times, if I have a long warp on there, I'm not going to stress how long it takes me to get that project done. I'll just work on it, and I can try and find like 10 or 20 minutes to work on it until it's done. It's just a long process to create a warp and get the warp on and get the warp threaded through all the heddles. But I'm excited. So I might make a reel of the process of warping and stuff like that. But I don't know. I haven't decided, because this is really not a crafting channel. This is my journey and health. And this, while it's a part of my journey and it's a part of my self-care and it's a part of maintaining my mental health, I don't want to talk exclusively about my crafting, but it's going to end up in here because that's just who I am. So I'm super excited to do that. I started a sweater for myself last night out of some lace weight. Hopefully I'll actually get to wear it. I think I'm at the point where my weight is kind of like stabilizing, and I'm probably at the point where I'm not going to have super fast weight loss from here on out, which is fine. I have 90 pounds to go to my goal, which once I get to my goal, I will have lost about 180 pounds, which is like blows my mind that I had that much weight to lose, but I do. And so my goal this year is build strength, and I want to lose between 40 and 50 pounds. If I don't quite get to that goal, that is completely fine. It's just a process. It's a process, and I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep eating my meat-based keto, and just feeling great and working on my strength, working on myself, working on my mental health, and focusing on all the things that I need to be focusing on, and share that journey with you. All right, so that's all I have for this week. I will be recording our Wellness Wednesday video. We're going to work on part 2 of gratitude, on increasing gratitude. And I'll admit, I have not worked on part 1. So I need to work on part 1. I've kind of worked on part 1, but not really. All right, so I'm going to stop rambling and get on with the rest of my evening, since we are losing light, because it is looking like a little bit of a thunderstorm, which would be fantastic. And I've got other things to do. So bye for now. Be sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment below, because I do respond to those. I will talk to you guys next week. Bye for now.